Hi guys, Andreas, the other Andreas of the vinyl community, son of Mainliner, with a new vinyl update video. I wanted to do a now spinning video, but it just sort of didn't work out. It was too long, and yeah, never mind. I never uploaded it. And on that video, I wanted to address something that has happened to a fellow VC member, the other Andreas, and made I feel your pain. I mean, it's not only theft, because when you actually get burglared, it's never happened to me, but it just feels terrible. And nobody broke in, but somebody stole from you. And on top of that, it's not just having something stolen. I mean, if somebody stole my TV or my amplifier or something like that, I would be pissed off. But it's something that you can find again, it's sort of more manageable. But it's records, which is I've spoke before about this, and your record collection is, it's not just just records. It's an extension of yourself, and it takes time, and you try to find things, and you just accumulate stuff, and it makes sense as a whole. So I totally feel your pain, and I want to help you out. And I left a message on one of your videos, and just said I'm thinking of either sending you records or sending you money, but I'm a bit torn about this, because on one hand, if I send records, then a lot of money is going to be spent on postage, and just let me know what you want, and I'll figure something out anyway. So if you don't know what's happened to Andreas, just check out his video, Grecian Thunder. So anyway, I want to show 10 records. I have some things that I bought just today, actually, and it's basically, we can start off with what's playing in the background. This is a record that I saw on the shelves, which is quite rare, because I like that experience. That's why you go to record shops. And I went to Rough Trade East, and I didn't want to buy anything, but that's what happens. You go in, and these records, you gotta buy something, right? So I went there, and in the 60s krautrock, whatever kind of section, I found this one. So it's gatefold. You get the gist of it, right? So the guy's called Rudiger Lorenz, and this is called, as you can see, Invisible Voices. It's a reissue on Anthology Records, right? So this is the first time I'm spinning it, by the way. So it's not that short, it's just that I started like the very end. So this is the first time I'm spinning it. I was like, this is good. I'll keep it on for the video, for the background. And as you can hear, it's synth. So it's synth. This guy is like a synth collector and MIDI and modular whatever collector. And he made some private press stuff. He's done a lot of cassettes, from what I saw and found out. And this is, I think, the only thing that actually came out on LP. This is from 1983, and it's just Klaus Schulze, Tangerine Dream, whatnot kind of thing going on, and you can hear it in the background. I haven't heard this side, but the first side, the stuff that I've heard on the first side are really good. So check this out. This is good shit. I mean, we're exploring it together, basically. I also got this one, which is Earthling Society, out on Riot Season. Riot Season has reissued and issued some interesting LPs. One of their LPs was Mainliner. They issued it like, I don't know, 10 years ago, something like that. They've also issued Yahuwah 13, the Tarot, the Chariot and or I'm gonna take you home, which is just amazing, and you cannot find an original anywhere. So yeah, this band, I've shown another LP from these guys. They are a psychedelic band from the UK. The cover, I think, doesn't do the music justice. It looks like a heavy metal album. It is not. It is not. It is a space rock monster, really. Amazing. I was playing it before I started playing this one. Unfortunately, this one has a defect. It hasn't been pressed very well, and it's an interesting one. So if you can see, yeah, see the groove, sort of. It's halfway through. Yeah, that's it. And the problem is that it starts off really scratchy, and yeah, I think it's just a fault on the press. So unfortunately, I have to take it back, and which is a bummer because it's 500 copies, and one of them is botched. And the other thing is that I have to take it back to get another copy, which is a bit annoying. But hopefully, they will have some few copies left. Awesome. Highly recommended. I've shown another one from them some years ago, and they're really good. I mean, heavy psychedelia, droney guitars, it's just fantastic. Yeah, highly recommended. Do check these guys out. Excellent. Another one that I got, which requires no introduction, Krakatoa, water near a bridge. So yeah, this is a colored version. I got this color. Not that I care about colors, but yeah, I was sort of expecting the white version. I thought that there was only a white version. Apparently there's a black version as well, and then there's this version, and probably they pressed just random stuff. What I want to find out is whether the download code actually corresponds to this LP. That's one thing. Second thing is that it works, and yeah, that's it. Because usually it has happened to me before that the download code doesn't correspond. Anyway, Krakatoa. What is this? Popol-vuh-ish crowd kind of synth soundscape music. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, yeah, highly recommended. Really good, very strong release. I also got another LP that when it came out I sort of didn't pay much attention. This came out, I think, in 2000, so it's been reissued. At the Drive-In, Relationship of Command. Obviously, At the Drive-In later on became Mars Volta. Mars Volta is not one of my favorite bands. I think they try to do too much, and the sound is here. I mean, it's the same kind of sound. I streamed it like a few days ago, a month ago, something like that, and yeah, it sounded Mars Volta-ish without the artistic side of it. Yeah, it's a little bit more aggressive At the Drive-In, but it was cheap. I think that I haven't given it a fair chance, and I think that there's a good reason why this is a good album, and I think buying it will make me listen to it a little bit more and potentially, appreciate it more. If not, then I can always sell it, I guess, or trade it or whatever. Oh, yeah. Also, recently I've been reading about music. It's not vinyl related, but it is vinyl related and music related in general. So I went back to my teenage years when I was a metalhead, and I have always been fascinated with metal, and there's always, I always show something, a heavy metal record, well, heavy metal, like extreme metal, usually it's not like, Judas Priest or whatnot, and yeah, in this case I've been reading this book. So, black metal, the evolution of the cult, by Dio Patterson, who is this guy, and as you can see, he's a metal dude. This book is like you know, a fan kind of fan book. There are two of them about black metal, and you know, the second wave of black metal bands from Norway and whatnot. One of them is this one, which is Lords of Chaos, which came out in 1990 something, and this is a little bit newer. It's like, I think it was released, issued 2005, I want to say, 6. It's newer, so it has a few more, you know, a little bit fresher kind of look at things, I guess. It starts off with, you know, classic black metal bands, like, you know, the roots of black metal, so Venom, Hellhammer, you know, these bands, and then goes on to the actual second wave, which is Mayhem and what else? Dark Throne, yeah. And talks about, you know, the church burnings, which is obviously, you know, the black metal lore, if you like, and Euronymous and his record shop, and you know, the people that went there, and Varg Vikernes, you know, and all these guys, which just make the story and the myth around black metal in the 90s and the second wave of black metal. Obviously, if you're not interested in this kind of music, then you know, it's yeah. I am interested because, as I said, you know, it sort of appeals to my inner teenager, and yeah, and also I've discovered some bands that I didn't know about, like Master's Hammer. I know a lot of these bands already, but it's always, you know, interesting to find out more about, you know, what was going on back in the day, and from, you know, straight from the horse's mouth, what was going on, because it has a lot of information, not only about the bands, but also, you know, interviews and whatnot, and it is quite interesting to find out, you know, more about this genre, which is, yeah. So I've been listening to a lot of black metal as well. I was streaming a lot of black metal because I don't own all these records. And speaking of heavy metal, and where is it? I would swear that I had it here. Ah yes, so speaking of heavy metal, I bought the following albums, which are related, almost, well, related. Recent reissue, Sepultura. This is Schizophrenia. I didn't buy this at the time, you know, because I was aware of this album. I have the previous one, which, although it was very black metal-ish and very low production versus what was, you know, the output of the time in the US, which was more thrash metal oriented, I still liked it. But I never got into this for some reason, and yeah, it's been reissued by Metal Blade. It's on a blue vinyl, which I don't care about, but it is on blue vinyl for those interested, and it's really good. It's excellent, classic. Yeah. What else can you say? Something that I was really excited to find out about is this one. This has been reissued at the gates. Slaughter of the Soul, classic melodic death metal, which sounds like, what the hell are you talking about? But this is like, you know, prime example of the genre, and it's just a killer album. Killer album. I mean, yeah. If you're not into it, then you're not into it. But this is the shit, if you know what I mean. Black vinyl. I purposely chose a black vinyl version instead of the multicolored ones because I think that, you know, I'm not a big fan of colored vinyl. Basically, I think it's crap. Well, it's not heavy metal, but yeah, Conference of the Birds, obviously on Holy Mountain Records, which is like, you know, very moderately priced. I have to say that, you know, and this one, if you try to find it from Southern Lord, is just mega expensive. whereas anything that has been issued, even originals from Holy Mountain, are very cheap, and I don't get it. I mean, the first album from which was only released on Holy Mountain, is very, very cheap. Anyway, they've reissued it on proper vinyl, and I got it. I have a CD as well that I bought back in the day when I didn't want to buy records, so yeah, just needed this on vinyl, which is just excellent. Spiritual stoner rock, potentially. Speaking of spiritual stuff, nice segue. Laraji, this is a 3 LP compilation, Celestial Music, as you can see here, 1978 to 2011. Starts off with some of his early work, 1979 and whatnot, and finishes up with Astral Jam, which is with Blues Control. Now, this was an extra track from the Revenge International version. The Revenge International label I've shown it like a few videos ago, and it came out as an extra on the download code. So yeah, Laraji, spiritual, like he's playing this instrument here. It's just, you know, it's just brilliant, lovely. It came out originally came out like 6-8 months ago on double CD, and I didn't buy the CD. I was waiting for this version to come out, and it surely did. I mean, I would expect it to come out on vinyl. I mean, most of Laraji's reissue stuff have been, you know, coming out from his output. How many have I shown? 3, 5, 7, 8. Yeah, I have some more, but I won't show everything that I have. Oh yeah, I can show this one. Yes. And I finally got this. Oren Ambarchi, as I said in my previous video, I sort of follow what he's doing. Stephen O'Malley and Randall Dunn. I don't remember where Randall Dunn is playing. Shade Themes from Kairos. Brilliant drone, dark kind of electronic sort of. It's not electronic because there's actual guitars, I think, here. But yeah, it's just brilliant, fantastic. Do check this one out. Really, really good. This is from an order that I placed in May, and it has another Ambarchi LP that hasn't come yet. It was supposed to be released in August, and was just waiting and hasn't come yet. So I don't know. I mean, I said, you know, just send it over, send what you have, and yeah. Now, this is an interesting one. This is the last one, so it's 10 records, and Chris Alvier, do check this one out. I have no idea where I found about it, how I found out about it. The way that happened is I found out about it at some point. I searched for it on Amazon. I don't remember doing that, and I put it on my wish list. Months later, I looked at my wish list just out of curiosity to see what I have in there, and I saw it. I was like, what the hell is this? I don't remember anything about this album. So I went and I searched for it again to find out what the music was about, and sure enough, it was really good, and I decided to actually purchase it. And it's this one. It's called Inutili. Or Inutili, I'm not sure. Music to watch the clouds on a sunny day. It is... who has issued this? I have no idea. It's probably self-released, to be honest. I'm not entirely sure. Let me see. Anyway, I checked out the music on Bandcamp, and they're an Italian band, and you can listen to this album there. It's 2 sides. To give you an idea, they're very aptly, at least side one is very aptly titled "Fry Your Brain" and "Drunk of Colostro." I have no idea what colostro is, but based on the "Fry Your Brain" thing, I would say it's some sort of drug. I need to search it up. Excellent. So 2 sides, 2 long tracks, lo-fi production, just killer psychedelia. Chris Alvear, do check this one out. To Fry Your Brain, just highly recommended. You know, yeah. That's my update. 20 minutes. I was aiming for 15, managed 20. 2 thumbs up. So anyway, thanks very much for sticking with me. Andreas, let me know. Leave your comments. Like the video, unlike the video, subscribe, unsubscribe if you like. I made a comment last time about people unsubscribing. I don't mind people unsubscribing. It's like, just how it is. It's just that I found funny the behavior that is, because I always say, unsubscribe if you've been watching this and saying, what the hell is he talking about? And actually people are doing it. It's like they were watching and they're like, what the hell, this guy again? Unsubscribe. Anyway, I find it amusing. I don't mind. I mean, it's not, what I do care about is people, communicating and just, leave your messages. I mean, I always try to, as I said, I always respond, and if I don't respond, there's something strange going on. So yeah, check your G+, or maybe you've been sending too many messages and you end up as spam, maybe? Who knows? So yeah, anyway, that's it. We'll be seeing you around. I have some more records to show, but I'm trying not to buy everything that I see these days. I'll try to be a bit more moderate. So 22 minutes, 10% extra time. Anyway, that's it. See you around.